The Hot Mess with Jess, and today's guest, the CEO, founder of Rookie Mage Games. Please give it up for Jordan McLaughlin.
Welcome to the Hot Mess with Jess. I'm your host, Jesse Pimpinella, and today I have a guest I'm so excited to have on. He is the co-founder, the CEO, the head honcho, Il Capo of Rookie Mage Games. I'm so excited to bring this guy on. Please, everybody, give it up for Jordan McLaughlin, everyone. Jordan, what's up, man? How you doing?
Hey, how's it going? Good to see you.
Good to see you, man. For those, I want to say I'm so excited to have him on because this guy has the same kind of philosophy I've always had with anything creative. It's the fuck it, I'll do it myself, and which I gravitate towards somebody like that. I gravitate because it's like, you know, in the world where there's sometimes it feels like so many gatekeepers, you need people that know how to break down the gates and create stuff. And what you've done in doing that since 2018 is not only create a gaming company, but you have a catalog of games, or as we said off the break, a gamography.
Yes. It's the new industry
I'm
term.
going to have letters come up later. A gamography of games, and it's been an amazing thing. And Christmas is your big time of year. I mean, you are working side by side with Santa to get these games under people's trees, in stockings, all across the nation, man. But before we get into all that, how are you doing?
I'm doing good, man. Like you said, it's busy season, which is a great mix of stress and relief, knowing, hey, I'm doing a lot of work, but hey, money's coming in so I can afford to eat for the next year. So it's kind of nice.
Yes. No, that's the other thing. We all want to be the artist, but we don't want to have the adjective starving in front of that. We like comfortably living. Middle class artist is
that's perfect. That's the sweet spot.
Right there. Yeah, right there. That's what I was shooting for, man. But no, I mean, but it's so good to see you, man. Like I said, we've collaborated on so many things before. The last thing we collaborated on, which was such a blast, which was Nuns with Nunchucks, the game. We had to do a whole entire commercial. Can you tell everybody about that? That was such a blast.
So the idea of Nuns with Nunchucks is it's the craziest combatants that I could think of, and it's literally a spreadsheet of characters that I had on my phone of just 3 a.m. I'd wake up from a dream or have a random thought of like, oh, that's kind of funny. What if I made a Supreme Court justice and they had chainsaws for hand? That's funny. So I would write that down. And I had this big list. I'm like, oh, I should turn this into a battle game. So when we did the Kickstarter promo video for it, I'm like, I want to get as many of these characters together and have like this epic battle. So I've got my husband's an inflatable dinosaur. John's dressed up as Abe Lincoln. Was the only one willing to be a nun. So there's a nun with a beard.
Nun with which you know what the funny thing is, when we filmed it, I forgot you had a beard in that.
Yeah.
Like it didn't even cross me like, oh, he's a nun with a beard.
Yeah, like I should have made that a character now.
Hey, there's always this expansion packs, right? Expansion packs.
That's where the money is.
That's where it is.
But that was my favorite video because we bought the fake breaking beer bottle, and it got smashed over my head, and that's like one of my favorite pieces of video is me getting hit with this bottle of like, I was so into that moment. Like I could feel the pain. It was like method acting. So I love that video. It's one of the funnest things I've ever made.
It was a blast. We were out on a farm, somebody's farm. I don't know whose farm it was.
Yeah, it was a friend of mine.
And the best part was, because everybody's in character, right?
Yeah.
And we're not too far away from the road. The amount of people that would drive by and just watch Abraham Lincoln smashing a beer bottle over a nun. It's just
There was the one lady that was yelling, "Are you guys doing one of those TikToks?"
Yes.
Yes, lady. Okay, goodbye.
So anyways, so like I said, all these crazy creations and characters that you have in that game, like I said, you have a running imagination, man. It runs pretty wild because like some of those are just crazy. What was one that you were, if I remember from the game, that you were most passionate about, that you loved the most?
Cannibal Cannon was really good.
Cannibal Cannon, yeah.
That was really good. a pack of monkeys with AK-47s. I don't know why. I just think that's hilarious. The gas station sushi that was alive. Like
Yeah, I remember that one.
I'm so proud of. But like the Abraham Lincoln's evil twin brother, I think is probably my favorite, just because like it's just the most random thing I could possibly.
It has
an evil twin brother.
It has a spin-off. It has a spin-off appeal. I think you can literally spin off and have your own evil brother Abraham Lincoln game. I think
Yes.
I literally feel like he has that potential. He's the Snake Eyes from the G.I. Joe franchise.
Yeah, so we could do an entire like graphic novel of the two of them fighting each other over the like espionage in the Civil War.
Oh man, no. But anyways, yeah, so another thing I want to talk about with you, just to kind of catch up, man. I know we both like horror movies. You have some really cool horror memorabilia that I've seen before. That's fantastic. What did you think of this year, 2025, as a year for horror? Do you think it was a step forward from 2024, a step back, or meh?
I think it was a step forward. I didn't watch as many movies as I really wanted to this year, but the amount of stuff is so much better than what it was like 5 years ago. It feels like to me. The movie studios are back to they make superhero movies and they make horror movies. That's like the only thing that kind of gets made anymore. So it's nice that horror's still there. It was like, oh, these are cheap to make, but they still get a decent reward. We're not going to let those go. And you have like companies like A24 and stuff that have come in and like really, Blumhouse and stuff have really kind of taken the lead of, this is our only thing. This is what we specialize in. And we're not gonna mess with that.
People forget Blumhouse made a movie where Dwayne The Rock Johnson was a tooth fairy. Like, people forget that. And I think they don't want to.
Was that them?
That was them. That was Blumhouse.
I mean,
they don't want you to talk about it. They'll kill you for that. You can't talk about it. But I like. What were some of the highlight films that you saw this year?
Weapons.
Oh, great film.
Great. I had fun with the I Know What You Did Last Summer, but it wasn't great.
Yeah,
but it was fun enough.
It was fun enough until the ending, where I'm like, come on. Like, really? That's going to be the twist today? Come on, guys. I didn't like it. Spoiler alert, everybody. I'm listening to spoiler because it's on Netflix. You should watch it by now. Freddie Prinze Jr. goes crazy. He does. He for me, it was just like, why have him go crazy? Like, I was like, it's like the Survivor the entire time. They don't really ever build up to him like losing it at any point.
Yeah, and it's like, okay, it's been how many years, and now he suddenly loses it? Like, it's no.
It's like, you need to get over.
It's literally just a shock value for shock value.
Yes,
and that's all it is. And I don't like stuff like that. I like shock value if it's earned and it's there for a reason. The only reason there was, oh, this will make people mad, and they're talking about it on Twitter.
I feel like
so everyone knows.
I feel like people are doing outrage horror so that people talk about the movie, and because this is one of the things that I think originated with what was the Blumhouse movie with the robot? They just had a sequel come out. Megan, yeah. Like, I feel like the biggest success of that is the fact it was PG-13 and it had an amazing TikTok dance.
Yes.
And that got everybody to watch the movie and stuff like that. You know what I mean? Yeah. And like, it was an okay movie. It wasn't like this huge monster hit, in my opinion. Because like, for me, what bothered me in that movie, I was like, so wait, we live in a world where nobody knows the 3 robot rules that's been in every robot movie since the beginning of time. Like, nobody's like, wait, you mean putting AI in a robot could be dangerous? Like, yeah, no shit. It was like you had to convince
anything that has hands is a bad idea.
Yeah. It's just like, but yeah, no. I feel like there's just a lot of movies where, like, Skinamarink last year, like, I did not get that film.
I did not see that one.
Basically, I'm going to tell you what it is. Okay. Imagine if 2 kids were left at home alone and they're just talking the entire time. Where's mommy? I'm scared. I'm alone. Blah, blah, blah. But every 5 minutes, I decided to take my phone, throw it in the sky. The phone is the main camera. Throw it in the sky, and wherever it lands, you still have to do the scene. You still have to do that scene. So, like, at some point, like, this could be the view of what you're watching. That's it, and that's this for like 15 minutes, or like it's pointing at someone's shoe.
Creative, or
I have no clue. Like, you'll just randomly face a wall, or face a TV, or face the corner, and all you see is a little dust bunny that's there, and you're like, "What are we doing?" Like,
like,
dude, it's.
Oh, I mean, the set's legit if it's dirty. So,
But it was just so weird, and they were like, "Oh yeah, this took $50,000 to make." I'm like, "What took $50,000 to make?" Like
$5,000 for the movie,
engineering.
$45,000 for his bank account.
Yeah, like legit. Outside of the sound engineering, I could probably make a shot-for-shot remake, and you wouldn't know which one it is. You wouldn't know which one's the real one. I could do it. I could so do it. But no, I thought some really good ones were like Sinners. I thought that was impressive.
Mm-hmm.
I loved. Have you seen that one?
No. Like I said, I've barely been able to see anything this year, but I hear all these great things.
It was a lot of good.
Weapons was the one, like, I'm getting this on my schedule.
Yeah, get that one on your schedule. That was good. But yeah, no, I like I said, I'm hoping that we go back to the slasher stuff, because I know like Scream 7's on its way out. Have you seen the trailer to that?
Oh, yeah. I am 100% obsessed with Scream. Like, Scream was my first horror movie. I'm a sucker for whodunits, and I'm a sucker for slashers. So you put the two together, I am one happy boy. So yeah, I've seen the trailer for it. I know there's people coming back. I don't know if I want to say too much, but like, if you search, there's people coming back.
People know it's kind of knowledge.
And it's just like, okay, if you bring them back and they're alive, it's corny. Like, it's way too corny for a Scream movie. They are a little more grounded in reality than what a lot of slashers are. Of like, they don't really have superpowers or anything. Of like, oh, they can't be killed. No. Like, no, they just have a bulletproof vest on. Shoot harder. Like, it's aim for the head. It's so like the idea that some of these people that were obviously dead are not dead doesn't make sense. So the only then option is dream sequences, flashbacks, which I don't like in movies. Because typically there's just stupid jump scares to get you thinking something weird's going on. And then the moment you realize it's a dream sequence, it's like, that entire scene did not count. We just did it because we had a cool idea and just found a way to put it in there. And those types of things drive me nuts. Flashbacks, if you're doing for story, whatever, but dream sequences, I hate in movies. Like,
I think the last time a dream sequence ever worked, or it was all a dream, was Wizard of Oz. Like, after that, I don't think anybody has successfully been like, "Oh wow, it's just a dream." Like, I don't think anybody, that's never worked after that.
Nope.
But okay, so let me ask you this: do you think Stu is going to be alive? Because there's been this long-running rumor in the Scream community. Is he dead? Is he not dead? Technically, in the original script, he survived to show up in Scream 2, but that got leaked and that got changed. And now what are your thoughts?
So in 6, they make a joke about that.
Yeah, they do.
And like, those characters seem to be very much under the impression of like, yes, he's obviously dead. Which is the first time out that it's ever been acknowledged in canon, in film, that yes, he is at least considered dead.
Mm-hmm.
How he's going to still be alive? You would have to do so much, like reimagining and changing the world that Scream lives in. Because like, okay, he's covered by a TV. You pull out, at the end of the first movie, there's reporters and cops everywhere. Like, if he's arrested, if he's alive, he's going to get arrested, and that's going to be on the news saying he's alive. So then when you get to Scream 6, they were like, oh yeah, he's alive, because it's common knowledge. Everyone knows what happened. So you're going to have to be like, what? He snuck out and no one noticed and no one looked for him over 7 movies? Like, no. He's
He
just wandering
He's
down the street with a TV on his head, and just no one noticed. Like,
No,
give me a break.
yeah, no, that is a true point. He's just like, where is he?
Yeah,
Someone
and
had
like if he was missing,
someone.
the characters would have said so by now.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
it's got to be flashback dream sequence thing. Now that doesn't mean the cult of Stu doesn't exist,
That
but I don't
is,
think Stu is legitimately alive.
yeah. I think that's one of the missed opportunities of the sixth movie, because I thought they were going to do the cult, because one of the things that Scream has done so well, in my opinion, is that it's so good at commenting on what is horror nowadays.
Yes,
and they almost commented on something, and they didn't, which is they instead wanted to do the whole franchise thing, which I'm like, yeah, you guys kind of meandered with that for the last couple movies. But what they should have done was murder docs, the glorification of murder.
Oh, yeah.
And all that stuff. Like, that is so. I mean, how many times has Netflix released all these mini series? Ryan Murphy's like, I gotta make these serial killers sexy. You know.
Yeah.
Like,
after what was it? Making a Murderer was like kind of the big Netflix one, and after that, they're like, we need one a week.
One a week
for the past 7 years.
Some stressed out intern is just going through cold cases.
Yes.
Just
like they're getting to like the bottom of the barrel of they were only stabbed twice.
Not sexy enough.
But yeah, take some creative license. But yeah, I think the Cult of Stu might show up, and I think you can make that work as like commentary. As kind of meta, because Matthew Lillard, who plays Stu, he is so popular in like the convention scene. Like, we just had him at GalaxyCon, and he's dead center on that poster of like everyone. It's him in the center, and I think you can use that of like the celebrity worship.
Oh yeah,
and the following and stuff, and it does have like a meta when it's about Stu, because he is so popular in that convention realm. You can kind of do something fun with that.
Yeah. Oh yeah. And speaking of that convention, did you hear about the controversy he was addressing?
No.
Not about him, but something said of him. So Quentin Tarantino, I guess he got bored from sitting on the sacks of money he's made, where he barely came out and he said Paul Dano, Matthew Lillard, and Owen Wilson are horrible actors, just randomly.
Cool. Thanks for your input.
Part of me was like, did you side with Roman Polanski? Shut up. Did you side with him?
Who asked you? Like, make a movie.
Who asked you? You're like, outside of you directing, your opinions aren't that great. You know what I mean? Like,
has he even worked with Matthew Lillard? Like,
no.
Because like, what sometimes you see is that like actors and directors just don't work well together. So if he like, I always go to Hayden Christensen in Star Wars. Everyone hated him. They thought he was awful. And I'm like, well, if you've seen him in other stuff, he's actually decent.
The
common denominator of all the bad Star Wars films is that George Lucas is the one that directed them. So don't blame Hayden Christensen. I think he did what he was told to do. So like, if you don't like Matthew Lillard in one role, that doesn't necessarily mean he's not good. It's sometimes things just don't work.
And most of the time, he's very charismatic. Like, I've never seen him do anything bad. And even though the movie was bad, he was good. Like, you know what I mean? I don't know what the problem is. Like, everybody, it was just like kind of weird. And I was just like, it's so funny just seeing the horror movie community, then the Oscar community came out for Dano, and then the comedy community came out for Owen Wilson. It was just like, it was watching the Fellowship of the Ring, like, organized of movies. Like, it was the Avengers. Like, you were like, no, you're not going to be saying this. No, it's crazy. But anyways, that brings us over to our hot mess quick fire. So basically, these are just kind of quick fire questions. You can go in depth if you want. You can keep it simple, however you want to do it. But just kind of get everybody to know you the way I do, and also for me to learn some more about you as well. So The first question is, what is the most chaotic idea you've ever forced Alex, your husband, your partner, to play test?
Yeah, so he might be a little mad if I tell this story, but I'm going to tell it anyways.
God,
So-
I don't want to invoke anything here.
That's all right. I'll get blamed. He won't blame you. You might get a nasty message, but it's fine. Just ignore it.
Okay, that's fair. But it'll get buried under the ones my wife sends me. So go ahead.
There you go. See. So yeah, my husband Alex is the one that is always the first one to play test anything I make. Because he's, even when it's like so early, it's just like a basic mechanic. Because he will honestly tell me if this is good and I should move forward with it, or say this is the stupidest idea I've ever heard. Go to the corner, think about what you've done to humanity, and like don't come out for an hour. So like I appreciate that honesty because it's that good filter that keeps me in check. But there was a time during still COVID times, and I was looking into different types of games to make, and I'm like, you know what? I could be really good at making a drinking game. So I put together this idea called Beer Gods, where you kind of do dares and stuff, and then you get points, and like it actually has like different gods of beer and wine from different mythologies around the world and stuff, and like so like you get points based on the gods that you acquired, and whoever had the most points at the end was the beer god. So we decided we needed to play test it, because one of the things I worried about when doing a drinking game is you can't have it destroy people too quickly. If people buy it and like can't get through 5 minutes, it doesn't work. You need to find a way to make sure the game kind of is spread out long enough where people can actually play it. I failed. And the next morning, it was just, we couldn't do anything all day. Like, we had a great time playing it, but it was just us on the couch, hungover that entire day. It was one of the worst I've ever been. And he swore, he's like, I'm never playtesting a drinking game. And I'm like, I don't think I want to either. And it's literally has just gone back because I'm like, I don't know how to playtest this without killing my liver. So it has sat on a shelf for the past couple of years.
That is so brilliant. That is so brilliant. Two things. Number one, expansion pack, handling the hangover aspect of the game. All right. Yes. That's number one. All right. Always be thinking ahead. Number two, what was the thing that you messed up? What was the moment you're like, oh shit, we're done?
It was just because we were sitting there and we were drinking, and like it didn't seem like too much until I got up and I'm like, oh. Walking is new again. So that's when I'm like, but it was too late. Like we were just sitting outside having fun playing it, and then it's like, oh no, it's too late now. Like this is done. We're gonna be sick tomorrow.
Here's what we're gonna do. St. Patrick's Day. We bring the booze and we tell everybody we're game testing. All right. That's what we're doing. Let the ones that are going to drink anyway.
That's fine, but everyone is signing a damn waiver.
Oh, they're signing a waiver. A waiver, and we're taking keys away. No one's driving. Yes, all right.
Absolutely.
This is a responsible company. All right.
And we're going to have Pedialyte for everyone in the morning.
Everybody's going to be on IVs.
Yes,
liquid IVs. It's a bag.
This is like a rave.
dude. But a gaming night like that going that hard, people will know about it. People will know about it. All right. Anyways, which horror villain would you trust to co-design a board game with you, and why? Or a card game, any type of game.
I mean, Jigsaw obviously comes to mind. But I think he'd actually really be bad at it. In this, because when you're when I make a game, it's very difficult to make a game actually have fear in it, because of the scenario you are in. You're normally surrounded by friends, having a couple beers, chilling out. The lights are as bright as possible. You can do tension, suspense, and everything, but actual fear, you can't really do. Now, funny you can do, and
Yeah.
Freddy Krueger likes to have lots of fun when he kills people. So I think Freddy Krueger might be the best one because he would understand the fun aspect of doing it.
Yes.
So
Yes.
I think that's where I would go.
I mean, think of it like this. He did technically invent a video game to take someone out.
Exactly.
I mean, he literally game designed mid-dream. I mean, that's just like...
He's already got experience. It's on his CV.
You're getting somebody with a good resume. That's at least what you're getting. Like, all right, let's see. You have a job with you dealt with kids before, games. Yeah. All right, here we go. That sounds like he would be good. I agree with that. This one's not for you. Excuse me, my mistake. All right, let me throw in this one. What is the most unhinged rule you almost put in a game that you've created?
I probably can't say that. So I had a game. It was called One Upper, and it was about the friend. Everyone has that one friend where always one ups you.
Yes.
And so when you didn't, you'd read the card and then you had to one up it, and then if you didn't do it enough, you got punished. Basically. And I couldn't think of good punishment, so I just started writing down like anything that was in my head. It's just like take it all out.
Yeah.
Come back in like 2 days and look at like what you wrote down and see if like anything there is salvageable.
Oh God.
I don't know what was with me that day, but that game would have been very different if I had gone with any of those options. So I'm not going to go into details, but it was shameful.
I know what you're talking about because we all as somebody who writes jokes, I've written jokes where I'm like, okay, the purpose of this joke is to go in this direction, and somehow the snake bites the tail. You're like, oh no, yes. I don't mean that. So like, say that way. I get what you're saying with that. All right, let me see. Next question. If you could make a game board based on a childhood moment, what would it be like? What would it be?
I don't know why this memory just popped into my brain as you asked me the question. So I grew up on a farm with cows, and and we had like some woods and everything. And one day, my cousin and I, we went out to the woods to build like a fort. Mm-hmm. And so we took like drinks and snacks and stuff, like because we were just going to live in the fort for the day. Well, the treats apparently attracted the cows, and the cows surrounded our fort.
Oh shit.
And we were little, and we were like, oh, what do we have to scare them away? Well, all we had was a couple cans of Vienna sausages. So we were opening up the Vienna sausages and throwing them at the cows to try to scare them away. And I'm like, as soon as you said that, I'm like, oh, that's a tower defense game.
You've been living a game life. You've been living it.
I just didn't know what it was yet.
Oh my Lord. That could be the next game.
No clue.
That could be the next game right there. I think people would like I just imagine just throwing a beef stick at a cow.
Yeah, that's basically what we were doing. It was like a threat of see what we've done to the pigs. It can happen.
Yeah, see what we did.
You got me crying.
Oh my God. I would play that board game. I would play that game, but also like that's a horror movie scenario too. It kind of scared me, like cows. Because like you don't think like cows are peaceful, but they're huge.
Oh yeah, they're hurt you and just not realize it because they're just so dumb. They're like, oh, it hurts when I step on your skull. Sorry about that. They don't think that way. You know? They're just there.
They're Canadians. They're like, oh, sorry, eh?
Yeah.
All right. Let's see. Funniest reaction you've ever seen during a play test or a game night?
This one's easy. So I have a game that's called The Unseen. It's a secret identity game where there's like a cult leader and they
Mhm.
brainwashed other people in the group to be in their cult, and they all know who each other are, and they're gonna lie and like hide the cult leader's identity from everyone else in the game. So it's a great game if you want your family to never talk to each other again. The Unseen is the game for you. So, and it's one of those games you have to play twice for people to get. The
Okay.
first time you just kind of go through and everyone's like kind of shy about it, of like, I'm not quite sure what I'm doing. By the end, everyone's figured out. So that second game is always the best one.
Yeah.
So I was over at my husband's family for like Thanksgiving. So his parents were there, and his his sisters and their children. And I wasn't playing because I, was like, I played this. You guys go have fun with it.
Mm.
So I go to the bathroom and I come back out, and in the middle of this argument, there's this 10-year-old child standing on a chair, pointing in his own mother's face, calling her a dirty liar. It was the best thing. Like, oh, that made me so happy.
Just making people forget where they are.
Yeah, they were just so mad at each other. Like, you're a liar, you're a liar. Like, just seeing this little kid railing into his mom. It was fantastic.
Oh no, that must be such a great feeling to see people get swept up in the game like that. Like really, like
just
to
knowing
me that's
that,
like
all those emotions, I'm the one that made you have them. It's a
that's
nice
it.
little power trip.
And that is an interesting thing that gamers get to have. You get to have that kind of control because you're creating a scenario in a world that they have to exist in. It's very fascinating stuff. Let's see. Next question. What's one creative habit that you have had that would terrify a normal person?
I don't know about terrified, but people definitely think I'm weird for it.
Yeah. Okay.
So I, for creative practice, get juices going, I will create fake businesses.
You fake what?
Fake businesses. Like, like this week, I'm like, oh, I'm gonna make a business of an ice cream shop. So like, I come up with the name and the logo. I design the logo and the colors, and like, I'll make a fake website and stuff, just because I, for one, enjoy that stuff. But it's such like a good creative practice. For me, it's like stress relief, weirdly enough.
It's sort of problem solving, not so much it being a problem, but like, okay, I have this idea and now I have to bring it to life somehow. I got to give it the marketing, the identity. That's fascinating. I really like that. That I mean, that almost sounds like joke writing in the funniest way possible. Like you have a premise. A premise in your case, it's a business, and you're like, okay, I got to create the marketing, the average. In this case, I got to be able to talk about it on stage. So like that. That is very fascinating. It's like sometimes I love these conversations because it's so interesting to hear like how your brain blurs with a comedian as well a little bit with this, because your games are comedies. A lot of your games have a lot of comedy in them. But what's also fascinating that I really enjoy about your games is that there's kind of like, I'm not sure if you're doing this subconsciously, universe building a little bit. Like you have all these characters. Yeah, you have all these characters. Like there's like characters from every game, and it's like this cast of things. Like, do you ever think you might crossover characters like in a sequel game? I don't know. I'm just blowing.
I don't know if I cross them over. But when you talk about like universe building, like all these are universes in my head. Like all these characters have names. Like Don't Get Stabbed, they all have names. They all have personalities. It's only in the second edition I actually put their names in the instruction manual, just because like when I would play games, people were fascinated. Like, wait, they have a name? I'm like, yeah, of course they have a name. And like, so people were interested in it. I'm like, all right, well, I'll put it in there because it matters to people. But like Stabby and all the different characters, like they all have names. They are the idea behind Don't Get Stabbed is they're all actually actors working in a movie, and they're all kind of friends and everything. But the game is the horror movie that they're in. So it's completely unneeded, but in my head, that's how these worlds get built. Like portal potties, like they all have names. There's a reason the way they're all lost their jobs. It doesn't matter to
Yeah.
the game, but it matters of just when I'm thinking about scenario, putting that out there, because it's like those little touches. Like, so like in Don't Get Stabbed, I talk about Don't Get Stabbed the most because it is my biggest game. It's also the first game I made. But like there's those little like personal notes in it. Like there's one card where Stabby is playing a saxophone. He's playing a saxophone because that's what I played in middle school. Stabby's left-handed.
Okay.
Stabby's left-handed because I'm left-handed. So like there's little things that like just get put in there that they mean something to me, but like to everyone else, it's just, oh, it's just whatever it is. Like there's nothing there to process. So yeah, all these games have these like kind of weird little me jokes only in it of no one's ever going to know, but I do, and I think it's funny.
Because it's like I'm looking at it a lot, and like I can see Stabby appearing on a card maybe one day in Nuns with Nunchucks.
I thought about putting him in there. I did.
Yeah, like just like a little cameo.
If there would be an expansion pack, I would do like a horror movie one or like a romantic comedy joke ones, and have different expansion packs like that. So I held off just in case I wanted to do that, because like, oh, I'll put him in there with like all the horror movie stuff.
It's really fascinating because it's like you're not just making, like I said, the game. You're like you said, you're creating a universe that this game is located inside of, and you have to go into this universe in order to play the game, which I find just super fascinating. And for me, it's like you don't see that measure of creativity anymore. You know, nowadays it's like, okay, here's the game, here's the rules. You know, roll the dice, dot 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 dot, dot, we're done. Okay, history. Yeah. But yours is like you're right at lore building with some of this stuff, which is fascinating.
Well,
did you feel like,
because like you know, especially with Don't Get Stabbed, like there will hopefully be things that I do with Don't Get Stabbed in the future that would not be games. They're like, I've looked into like, you know, graphic novel type stuff, things like that. Like there's other things that can be done with it because that universe is there. It's not just cards. Like there's characters and all that, and I can take that and put that into other media hopefully in the future.
Yeah, like I could almost see like all the cards in Nuns with Nunchucks come to life. Kind of what like we did with the commercial. Like I was thinking about like, oh my god, that would be so interesting if all these things came together. You know what I mean? They're like, maybe what would be something that brings all these characters together? Oh, being trapped in the fort and cows are surrounding them, and all they got is beef sticks. Let's go! All right. Anyways, sorry, I had to tie it all together. So here's a couple more questions before we get to the crash out couch part. We're gonna skip ahead because some of these questions I feel like you've answered also, which is it's kind of cool. So let's talk about this active imagination that led to these games. What's a movie that messed you up in the best way? Because usually it's that thing that messes us up that drives part of our creativity. So what was that for you?
Well, I will say the movie. So I didn't see my first horror movie till I was like 14, which it's relatively old compared to what most people see.
It could be any movie. Like there's horror movies that mess me. There's things that aren't horror movies that mess me up as a kid.
And like the first time you get like that tension, that fear, that suspense build up and stuff, and eventually you kind of get like inoculated to it with other horror movies. And so like it kind of takes more and more to be able to do that. So like I was at a point, I'm like, oh, no movie can scare me anymore. And then Human Centipede came out. And just the it's just I appreciate creativity, and someone was creative enough to come up with an awful way to torture human beings. And like it's still creative, it's terrifying, but it's creativity. And they did it in a way that was logical and like made sense in that world, and it really messed me up for the longest time. I just feel like I feel icky after watching.
Oh yeah.
You know, I was like, I need some bleach and a hard rack.
Some movies are just one and doneers. They are just Martyrs messed me up horribly. Like that movie.
That one.
Here's the thing. I will go as far as say it's a great movie. It's a really well written movie. You'll never watch it again, ever. It's so violent. I don't even want to bring it up on the podcast. I'm afraid Facebook will be like, nah. It's like when you get into European horror movies, because Steven sent me, if I remember correct, that's German. That's German, if I remember correctly.
That sounds right.
It's like I might. I mean, it was made here in America, kind of like how Saw is New Zealand. But anyways, it's one of those things where like you go over in Europe, some of their horror movies are just whoa.
Like there's a couple movies that I'm not going to name their names here, but like they're not iconic because people watch them, but because a few people watched them, told everyone else what is in them, and everyone else decided we're not going to watch them. But everyone would know the name,
It's a movie that these movies, the genre is it's based upon a dare. Can you watch it, and how long can you watch it for? And sometimes it's like, I just don't want to do that.
Yeah.
All right. I want to jump ahead to this because I want to get into more of the company because, like I said, this has been very fascinating. What is your ultimate hot mess moment? This is a hot mess podcast. We talk about being a hot mess, and what we do. Creation is messy. So sometimes it makes us go a little crazy a little bit. So, what would you say has been a big hot mess moment for you creating or launching a game?
That first Kickstarter that I did for Don't Get Stabbed was probably one of the most stressful things I've ever gone through in my life. It wasn't the work of it. Like I worked in marketing before this, so like Kickstarter campaign, like it's marketing. Like I understand what needs to be done. That first time where you have something that you have put your kind of soul into, like it's like I call Don't Get Stabbed my baby, because like it was all this creative frustration that I've always had of like I can do something really cool, I just don't know what it should be. And then like my cousin is the one that suggested it on a game night, and I was like, that light went off of like, oh, I could do this, I could be really good at this. So you make this thing that's like your little soul, and then you put it on the internet for other people to judge. Just that the emotional roller coaster of that, of seeing, people were pledging today. Oh, it's less today. So someone leaves a nasty comment, and and it's you eventually I'm kind of more used to it now. I don't take things as personal as I did that first one, because it was a very personal thing to me. It was, this is the thing I made that I think might be my opportunity to do something. So having it just out there to be judged constantly was very stressful, which led to me just being very, very annoying to be around.
No, I completely understand. I mean, like I said, it's your baby. You said it is your baby. It is, and it also was you ending and starting a new chapter in your life. I mean, you were doing something that doesn't have a college for. Like, that's the thing. Like, we talk about comedy. Like, there's no like, oh, all right, well, you want to be a comedian, you gotta do this, you gotta do that, you gotta do this, that, and then you're there, and then it's all good. And it's like, no, that's you're playing by the rules, but while breaking them and making them up as you go. And it's your measure of success is kind of based upon how you compare yourself to other people, but you can't do that because that's also incorrect.
Yes, it's being in such a weird industry. It's very hard to gauge success, because like, to me, like I do this full time, and I'm middle class. Like, I'm not going to be rich. It's fine, but like, I get my own livelihood. And there's so many other people in the industry that like have games, and I think like they're huge successes because like they're amazing games. They're like, wait, you do this full time? Why don't I do this full time? I'm like, I don't know. And it's like, but like I don't care. Like, you made an awesome game. I'm just going to tell you how awesome I think your game is.
Yeah.
If you're a big corporation taking up all the customers at a convention, I'll flick you off. So like I don't compare. I try not to compare because like it's so segmented in the way people consume these games that it's very difficult to do even a one-to-one comparison. Because like a $20 game of Don't Get Stabbed takes 15 minutes to play. It's a casual game that regular people play like at a table on a game night. Then you have $120 Gloomhaven games that take a couple hours to set up and everything. Like there's such a wide range of people in games in this category compared to the few amount of us that are actually in it for there to really be any good comparisons, because there's no real one-to-one.
No, there isn't. And you can only be the best version of yourself. You can't be the best version of anybody else.
Yeah.
And like I said, let's kind of get into that first game. I mean, I read your bio and you talked about how you spent long hours in the library. Like, now we've talked about this. Basically your cousin, if I remember correctly, he said, "Hey, you should make it," and you said, "Oh yes, I can do this."
Yeah.
So kind of go through, like, what was it like being in the library making that game? Like, did you kind of have an idea of what you wanted to do? Did you base it off of like, okay, well, I like this, so can we make a game about that? Like, what was the inception of Don't Get Stabbed?
So the inception of Don't Get Stabbed really started in the car ride home. So I'd gone to my cousin's. She said, "Hey, you should make one of these." And I was at a point where like I was already looking for something else in my life. Like I had a couple jobs and I'm like, they keep saying, "Oh, we're going to let you do this." And then I never get to do it. And I was just getting so frustrated of like, I would be really, really fucking good at this stuff if you would just get out of my goddamn way and let me do it. But those opportunities just never came. And I'm like, I am sick of this. I need to find a way to make my own opportunity. So I was already kind of like looking around of like, what can I do? Like, oh man, it'd be really great to make like a comic book, but like that's a lot of art and I'm not that great of an artist. So like, I'd have to pay someone and I don't make enough money to pay someone. So like I had this frustration. And then my cousin, like, we're just sitting there playing and she just leans over and says it. And it's just like, oh, I could do that. That is something that's, I think I would be good at. That is within my skills. And it was like this kind of dam got released of all these different ideas of like, oh, now I have somewhere to put them. There's a place now. So on the ride home, I'm talking to my husband and he's driving because I drank too much on that game night. And I'm telling him like, I'm really going to do this. Like, I'm going to try to do this. I'm like, I'm going to call it Don't Get Stabbed. It's going to be like horror movie tropes. You're going to have one person who's the killer, everyone else is victims. And like, he was just kind of like, okay, yeah, sure, dear, whatever. And it was the next day. Like, I just woke up and I'm like, that it's still there. And I'm like, I'm ordering blank poker cards, markers. And a lot of it was me. The first part of it before we got to the library was me with the blank cards and markers sitting in our like spare bedroom. And I had like little plushies that I had stand-ins for other characters. And so I would have an idea and I'm like, oh, this person's deck has this. So if I do this, but if I'm this person, then it means that they can do that. And it just was round and round with that for like 2 weeks until I had what I thought was the initial working prototype. So I go back to this literally kind of same game night and I'm like, guess what, everyone?
Yep.
I made a game. We're going to play it. So we played it and they were all like, okay, you actually did make something pretty great. You have to do something with it now. You can't just take this and walk away. Go. So,
and isn't it sometimes the curse a little bit sometimes when you have the thing and they're like, now you're going on a journey.
Like this, like I left that game night. I'm like, well, this is my next 6 months at least.
Yes.
This.
Because, and I say that because it's like, whenever I get the material that I'm working on and it's finally ready, someone will say, oh, you should shoot this now. And you're like, oh God. So you want to shoot it.
Like, damn
You're
it, I
like,
should.
but it's like, you know what the undertaking is. You know what the goal is doing. And you love it. Don't get me wrong. You love it. But
Yeah.
you know this better than anybody because you've been through the process of making many games. You have to know how to love it even when you hate it sometimes.
Yes.
You have to. You can't because sometimes it'll be a day. There'll be days that don't love you back. There'll be days where it feels like it curses you a little bit. And what would you say was one of the biggest obstacles that you had to go through when creating Don't Get Stabbed?
It was definitely the art. So artists are expensive.
Oh yeah.
And for one, they should be. Most artists are underpaid in any industry.
Yes.
And I'm not going to be one of those people. So I knew I couldn't afford someone and be fair. So I was like, South Park looks like crap. I can get away with that, right? So I was like, I could figure that out. Like the point of it is that it's not over the top, that it is part of the joke is that it's more simple, the cartoon animation look. So I'm like, all right, if they can get away with it, maybe I can get away with it. So most of my time in the library was me doing the art. And when I say me doing the art, it's a YouTube video on my phone telling me how this program works to make art in, and then me on the computer trying to do the same thing in the way that I wanted.
Lord.
And I got away with it. And I got better. Like the Don't Get Stabbed that's available now, it's actually a second edition. Because I went back because I'm like, I am so much better at art now. I want to go back and do this more the way it looked in my mind. Like I have the skills to make it better than what I initially did.
And honestly, and you're not here, George Lucasing this. Han is still. You're not changing Han shooting Greedo here.
No, it's literally
this is. You're just remastering. You're not changing lore. You're not changing. I just one day Stabby will have a right hand. It'll be right-handed instead. You'll be like, well, I just for the artistic integrity of it.
There is one card where he is holding his thing in the right hand. But it's because he's doing something else with his dominant hand.
Okay, all right.
Someone knew that and called that out on me once, and I'm like,
"Oh, you got George Lucas."
I know what I'm talking about. They're like, no. He's doing something else with his dominant hand right there. I just wanted him to hold a knife.
That's fair. Yeah, that must have felt so good to somebody to know the lore and be like, "Hey, wait a second."
Yeah, it's like I go to a decent amount of conventions, like horror movie conventions, and so like you see some of the same people, but also like you see a lot of the same vendors because like we're all in the horror movies or games and stuff. So we play each other's games to support each other, and like if I need to go pee during a convention, I know Jess is going to watch my booth and like sell my games, and I've sold other people's games. It's very non-competitive for most of us. Where was I going with this? You were talking about
like how everybody gets to know each other's games.
Yeah, it's those people that know like the lore and stuff, because we are able to kind of like sit there and talk to each other about each other's games and know like the process. So you ask more questions. So like it's normally some of the other publishers that will notice stuff like that of, oh, there's a reason you did it that way. I know why you did it that way because I have to think the same way you do, where most other people are like, it's a card, who cares?
Now let me ask you a couple of questions. So what would you say, what did you sacrifice? What were setbacks you faced? What were to do this? Because like I said, when it comes to creating something, it's an undertaking. It's dedication. It's all in or none in at all. So what would you say is something that, what are some of the things that come to mind?
Sometimes it's peace of mind. I hated working in the corporate world. But if something went wrong, it was probably someone else's fault or it was my fault. It wasn't going to be a big deal, whatever. But like, I'm going to have a paycheck coming in. Now everything is on me. Like everything. When I say like, this business is just me. I've hired some artists as contractors, and then I convinced my husband to do my taxes. Other than that, everything is me, from inventory management, sales forecasting, getting the when you want to make a game, you have to create it differently, knowing what type of printer it's going to be done on. So like all that kind of stuff is then on you. Like there's no one else that's going to fix the problem. You have to figure it out. But it also comes with this other part of the self-discipline of it.
Yes.
When I first went to do this full time, it was like great. I was like, I don't have to get up until I want to get up. Like, no boss is going to call me and send me an email saying, oh, you're supposed to do this. The problem is that when you've always had that, it's your responsibility now. Like you need to make yourself your own boss and make rules of, okay, you can stay in bed until 9, but then you actually do get up and work. Things have to get done. They're on you. And I've seen some people that they got to that point and it was just, they didn't want to do anything because they didn't have that level of self-discipline, for lack of a better word. And so things eventually fall apart. You sacrifice a little bit of peace of mind, but you also end up working to make yourself a better person because that self-discipline hopefully kicks in, or you force it to kick in. Like giving yourself a swift kick in the ass by yourself is always a good thing in life.
Yeah. Because like I said, in the corporate world, you get done with a task, you hand the task off to somebody else. In this case, you don't hand the task off to somebody else. You complete a task, you're handing it off to yourself, because you're person A, then you're B, then you're C, then you're D, and it's a lot.
And they're all different types of jobs that, I know how to do sales forecasting before this? Nope. I knew graphic design. I knew design or marketing. Did I know anything about freight shipping and LTL and all this crap? Nope. I do now. Nope. I wish I didn't, but I do.
There's a lot of that's so funny, because like I was talking to somebody with along the lines of stand up, and like how there's a lot of stuff when it comes to video content making daily that I wish I didn't know. I just want to sit here and write my little jokey jokes, and that's it. But it's like, no, you're going to know how to edit videos. You're going to know how to read the algorithm. You're going to know when's the best time to post on 4 different platforms, and they don't have anything in common with each other. And it's just the way it is. But like I said, going through all that, it's an incredible thing, and achieving things is one thing. But what was the moment where you realized you achieved it? Because I always feel like whenever we're going after something, the moment we realize it and the moment we do it aren't always the same moment. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, for example, when I the night before my comedy special, that was the first time in a 2-year process of setting up the cameras and everything and the people that we were going to pay to do opera. That was the first time me and my director went, holy fuck, this might work. Might. He said, might. We didn't give it the whole, but it was the first time in 2 years of setting up all the tech, it might work. And it's so weird, like how like those aren't lined up. Those are. What would you say was your moment where you would go, holy hell, I'm actually doing this. I created a game for a living. I'm doing it now.
So it was many, many months after the Kickstarter, and it was after the game was starting to get sold on Amazon and online. Because like I went into this like, oh yeah, like I really want this to be my thing. Like I created something, I want to do this. But it was also like, it might not. Like the chances of you making a game and it being a success are minuscule in the calculation of life. So I always tell myself, like, if nothing else, I got to do this really, really cool thing that people will physically have of me, you could live on the other side of the country, but technically I'm still kind of playing a game with you when you play one of my things. And I'm like, that's just like really cool. be really proud of that. And I'm proud of that, and I've always been proud of it. So like the Kickstarter came, and everyone's like, wow, like you're gonna quit your job and do this. I'm like, nope. Like I'm not there yet. And then like it was after the games kind of came in and they sold really well through Halloween. And then early November, it was my birthday party. We go out to a bar for my birthday every year. And like I'm like looking at my sales, and I'm like, I expected after Halloween for them to basically just tank. And they didn't. They were going up. And I'm like, okay, I have like the actual data now. I think I can do something with this, of like, it's past all these little litmus tests that I had in my head before I allowed myself to believe I could really do this as an occupation. And it's that final night of, I'm like, this really should be lower, but damn it, I'm going to sell out of games before Christmas at this rate. And it's like, if I'm selling out before Christmas, I've got something. You're allowed to believe in it now.
Wow. That's incredible, man. I mean, that's just, those are those moments, they're the most treasured moments, because you remember them no matter what. It's a happy place memory. You know what I mean? Because it's like, it's the moment where the impossibility lost the I am, and it became possible. It became a reality, let alone, you know, because, you know, that's the thing with like creatives, like a lot of stuff, like I said, it's creating nothing into something. It's complete pitch black. I had an old English professor who said this, like, the beauty of a pencil is that you can create your occupation with a few strokes of it. And seeing this and how you did this, and how, you know, that's amazing, man. And hats off to you on that. And I would like to ask you, and I ask everybody this, because what would be a piece of advice you would give someone trying to turn their chaotic idea into a real product?
I get similar questions to this, so I have a good answer for it. No matter what, you need to learn the boring shit. Mm-hmm. The boring shit, unfortunately, is what keeps you in business. You know, creating great games is great, but it doesn't matter if I don't know how to balance my books. It does not matter if I don't know how to update my website, or do a sales forecast, or if I can't manage my inventory. It does not matter how creative I am if I can't get that shit done too. And it's one of the things that I see a lot, and I try to, you know, people give that, because you see so many people that are artists, and like they have such talent and everything. And like I go to some of these conventions, and they're selling like these things for like $5, and I'm like, this is a $20 product. Like, what are you doing? Yeah, like, I know you're not making any money. Like, but I'm like, I know you could sell this for 20 if you did some market research. And like, I know not everyone has that, but like, that's what I'm saying, is like, you have to try to learn the boring shit. Too many people are just like, this is the fun part, so I want to do that. I'd love to spend more time designing games and doing the fun part, but I can't, because it's still, at the end of the day, a business. One of the things that really drove me nuts about when I worked in kind of corporate life, occasionally we would bring on artists for projects. And the amount of times upper management would say, can we pay them an exposure?
Yeah.
Like, no, you can't.
No,
like, this is my marketing budget. It's being paid out of the marketing budget. We're paying these people. But the amount of people that would take that, of like, you're not valuing yourself. You're really offering a service. Fucking charge people for it. Like, like you have to know when someone's taking advantage of you. Like, you need to know how to look at a contract to make sure like you're not getting screwed. Like, all that boring crap is still extremely, extremely important. So learn that. Still do the fun stuff. Learn the boring stuff. Like, we have libraries on the internet. You can find a YouTube video on how to do almost anything.
Yeah. It is so amazing, all the stuff you can find, and it's right at your fingertips, even on your phone. Yeah, you need to.
Like, I didn't understand anything about sales forecasting or inventory management. I literally learned it through YouTube. Like,
Yep.
It's YouTube.
Yes.
That's how I learned everything.
I never learned. I never knew how to run my own Roku channel or how to submit to Amazon for. Yeah, I had to just kind of figure it out on my own, late nights and doing that. Yeah, and it's so rewarding. It's so rewarding because and like I said, that's why I like talking about this stuff and talking about the success of it because people, they see your games, they see your filmography, and they go, "Oh man, I mean, it's just all games with this guy. He's just like he comes into the office and goes, pew pew pew. What game we making today?" And it's like, it's like, no, it's nothing like that.
It's
like
nothing like that. And I do get that 10% that's really cool, but most of the time when people think I'm out having fun, I'm in a spreadsheet.
You're like walking around like a game version of the Willy Wonka chocolate factory, and all your Oompa Loompas are like, "Hey boss, we got this." You're like, brilliant.
Yes.
No.
Scratch and sniff game? Perfect.
Like, we wish, and then which would be cool because then you would have your own Slugworth who's like always trying to steal Stabby from you. But anyway, it's like, yeah, there's just a lot that goes into it, and valuing yourself and valuing what you do is so important. And it's saying no is so important because, and I've learned that as of recently, saying no to selling for $5 and when you have a $20 game, it's important because that $20 crowd will come. They will come. They will be there. Like Matthew McConaughey did a great interview about how he wanted to stop being the romantic comedy guy. And he said no. And it was a rough 18 months of saying no. And then eventually he got a little kind of low budget indie movie, not really indie movie because it's what is indie anymore if a major studio kind of does it, but Lincoln Lawyer. And that kind of started what people call the reconnaissance. You know what I mean? Like True Detective and all these movies, Interstellar, it's from the value of knowing what you're worth and just simply saying no. That's the biggest. And I agree with that advice. I know we're running low on time. I want to do a few more things and then we will be out of here. The next segment is something that's very fun, something I love. It's called the Crash Out Couch. It's in which what will happen is you will get 60 seconds to bitch about anything you want, anything in the world. And I will give you a 10-second warning when you're running out of time. And I will do this. That just means wrap up your last sentence.
Okay.
So are you ready to crash out right now? Are you ready?
Oh, yeah. I have serious gripes with most of society. So we're
all right. This is it. Here we go. I want to feel it. I want to feel the energy. All right. Okay. I'll give you the countdown. Ready? 3,
go.
2, 1.
Even though I make games, I'm not responsible if your kids are not 18 and you buy it for them. The amount of hate emails I get, like once every 3 to 4 months. I bought this game for my kid because they love horror movies, and I can't believe you have a card in it that says have sex. Number one, it says 18 plus on the box 4 times. I put it on 4 freaking times on the box. And no one ever sees it. 2, have you watched the horror movies that you're letting your kid watch that they watch? Like, what? If you shouldn't be mad at me. You should be mad at you because you suck. Sorry. The other thing I'll bitch about. My biggest pet peeve in life is spatial awareness. If you are on a sidewalk with hundreds of other people and we are all walking in the same direction at the same pace, don't just fucking stop. If you need to make a phone call, go to the side. When you enter a store and there's sliding doors, don't stop at the door to check your list. Go to the side. Like, nothing drives me more nuts than that.
Dude, that is That is rough, man. I know. Both of those things. Oh, hold on a second. Let me fix my camera real quick. Yeah, no, both of those things are annoying. Because we live in a kind of a society where parents forgot how to be parents and what they do. Like, do you remember your parents? They were hawks at what you intook. You know what I mean?
Not mine.
Oh, well, okay. Let me put it this way. My parents were the same way too, but like that was usually the parents' job.
Yeah, it wasn't someone else's fault.
Yeah, the world is going to spin whether you like it or not, and it's up to you to be like. I mean, that's why you had channel blockers. That's why you had like, you had certain channels. You made sure. My wife. I mean, her mom was very like, okay, can you watch this? No, can you watch this? No. I mean, get me wrong. Yeah. My mom, I was very on helicopter, so I watched Jay and Silent Bob when I was 13. So this is kind of why I'm like that.
Yeah.
But that's okay. So the have sex card. That's funny. So she just typed like, "How dare you?"
Oh yeah.
You can cut people's heads off, but no sex.
And then I get a negative review on Amazon. They negative review it, and like I don't even respond anymore because like I can't.
No,
I can't be nice. But it's just like even after you've realized that like if people make mistakes, that's fine. Once you realize that card is in there, and you look at the box, and you see 18 plus, 18 plus, 18 plus, 18 plus.
18 plus.
It's not my fault anymore.
No. And it just, I think a lot of times people want to blame somebody. They always just want to blame somebody when they're at fault and they don't want to take responsibility and they just want to it just blows my mind. Like the amount of accountability people take, like you can fall down the stairs and the first thing you think of is like, well, obviously the handrail was faulty. I couldn't have been, you know what I mean? Like, like we live in that type of society now. It's crazy. But I think anytime when you make,
I was just like, I firmly believe that around 30% of the population is addicted to just being pissed off.
Oh, very much. Very much.
Just, it doesn't matter what's going on. They're just going to be mad. Like, they're the type of people, if a cure for cancer came out, they would be bitching about all the jobs they're going to be lost in the medical industry.
Yes, that is
like that's exactly what these people are.
I am writing that down because that is a moment I want to remember right there. That is so true because because it's so fine. Like you and I are busy. We got with our jobs. We're so busy with what we got. The idea that somebody can take time out of their day. Yeah. Okay, they're logging on to their computer. All right. Yes. They are going to the website. They are writing out the 5-paragraph. Fuck you. Your thing had sex references in there, and then hitting enter, and then giving themselves one of these, and it's like, how do you have the time? Like,
I'm guessing because their children went no contact several years before.
Exactly.
It's not like they got anyone else to talk to.
I just want to be like, how many minutes of neglecting your kids did you take to write this? Like, they could have bought another one of my games. You don't know.
Yeah,
you know
exactly.
I mean? Like,
they're probably watching one of those horror movies that have sex in it right now.
Yeah. Oh my God. All right. We're going to wrap up with some future focus. So we're going to talk about this is the part where we get to talk about the fun and exciting stuff of where you're going. So right now, before we get into the future, what is your biggest creative influence? It could be a designer, filmmaker, author, anybody you look to, you're like, that's the energy I like. And that's what I want to apply into my gaming making.
So
my demography.
Yeah, I've got a couple different little answers here for different things. So there's a guy his name's Alex Hirsch. He made a show called Gravity Falls, which is a cartoon that was on one of the Disney channels and stuff.
Yeah.
And it is the greatest cartoon that's ever been made. It is fantastic because I always thought my dream would be make this cool little modern Scooby-Doo type cartoon. And then I found this show. I'm like, well, I'm not going to do any better than that. So I'm going to go with something else to do.
I'm checking it out right now. I've never heard of this.
the amount of humor and the writing of like the world building he does, because like one of the things that drives me crazy in the fact of when I make games is that in each universe there's rules and you have to keep those rules consistent. And superhero movies are notoriously bad at that.
They break the rules all the time. Yeah.
Superman can turn back time. He just never does it again. like the rules are he could turn back time. So everything else that he ever faces is not a problem. Like you have no basis for any future movie here.
Yeah.
When you know that, when you think that way, when you were looking at how people build worlds and you watch Gravity Falls, the amount of thought, love, creativity, humor that got put into the show. It's only 2 seasons. I'm glad it's only 2 seasons because they packed so much stuff in that. So Alex Hirsch, I'm always a fan of him. Anything he does, he has some other shows he did. He does some books and stuff that are Gravity Falls. I'm a huge Gravity Falls guy. My other biggest thing is like video games. It's a great place to find new mechanics and try to think how would that actually translate into a physical game. Because the video games and board games and card games, like they have similarities, but the biggest difference is that video games won't let you break the rules. There's no one stopping you from breaking the rules in a border card game. Like if the rule in the game is you can't go past this wall, the game isn't going to let you go past that wall. But if I have a wall here and you decide to move your character over it, I can't stop you. You can just do it. So it's a great place of like, oh, if I wanted to try to like create that in a way, how would I do that in a game to have that kind of same feel and response? Because to probably get into way too detailed of stuff. When we talk about mechanics in games, it's things that you do. And like a lot of games have multiple mechanics that make things work. And that basically creates kind of like an engine. But each one of those mechanics, when you're making a game, you have to think about how that actually makes how it makes the player feel. It's not just, draw a card. It's like, okay, when I'm drawing a card, what emotion can I get out of that with a mechanic? It's like, is drawing a card bad? And what way can I make that tension or make that a worse experience? Amplify that up. So video games are just like a great place to find mechanics to then try to see how they would work and fit into like those engines that make games.
That's fascinating. Yeah, because it's like it's so many times, like I could think of so many properties of movies and TV shows and comic books that I like where they break the rule and it kind of breaks the illusion of what the world they created, and it hurts it. It hurts it badly. And you're like, you're like, because then it makes you go, well, why are they doing this now? Because they did this earlier. And they did, I mean, writing yourself into a corner can be fun because then the creative way you get yourself out of that corner is always a good time. Yeah, I mean, but it takes that creativity. As soon as you're breaking the rules to get around that creativity, that's when you lose a lot of it. And we've watched so many.
That's why characters like Deadpool are so popular, because the rules is that he can just do whatever he wants technically. Like because he knows he's in a movie, he knows he's in a comic book, he can do whatever he wants. So like that's part of the reason he's popular, because they're able to do things because there are technically no rules for him. Where Superman, there's very definitive rules, at least now. Apparently there was a time he could shoot tiny Supermen out of his hand.
That's crazy.
I know.
Well, I mean, technically, most people can shoot some sort of men out of them. Technically.
That's fair.
I mean, is it appropriate to do in public? No. Yeah. Usually you get on that's a
people do
offense,
in the privacy of their own homes, their business.
It's what they do.
Yes.
It's what they do.
The world building stuff is like, it's so important, and it's where you see a lot of stuff fall apart. Is the longer it goes, the more lore they have to keep straight. Like Lost. Lost was amazing because the first like couple seasons, because they didn't actually have any rules yet. It was all just mystery. Well, then they started adding rules of this is what happened here, this is what happened there, and then it just became a mess because you couldn't keep they weren't keeping it straight. So they like, if you had ended Lost at 2 seasons, it probably would have considered one of the best shows ever made. But because they drug it out and ruined their universe, it became almost a joke.
It became the show's more famous for the upsetting ending rather than the show itself.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, and yeah, I mean, building lore is so important. It's so valuable because it's a certain amount of, I think the audience can put trust in you that you're, you know, because I mean, look at how much the Batman lore is rules. It's the don't kill rule. But then people are like, well, what about when he left Ra's al Ghul on the train at the end of Batman Begins? Is that technically this? Is it technically that? Is that, or if he doesn't save somebody, is that technically, you know, it brings up all these questions of what is the taking a life versus not taking a life versus saving a life and not, and that's what makes that lore so amazing. It's
it's controversial, but it's consistent. Like it's consistent. Like the core thing, as long as it's consistent, it's good. But like if you can make people argue about it, that's even better.
Oh, that's even better. Like one of the most argued things is have you seen The Sopranos?
No. Are you gonna talk about I know about the end enough.
So that ending is based on a lore that they set up repeatedly throughout the whole series.
Really?
So when that moment happens, you could be upset, but the more you think about it, you're like, no, that ending's brilliant. They told you to a certain nth degree, this is what happens. So when it happens,
he's like talking about like, oh, if he dies one day, it's just everything's gonna stop. It's gonna be nothing.
Yes. They always talk about like you don't ever hear it coming. You don't ever hear it coming. And they even demonstrate it with other characters throughout the show. Like there's a scene where somebody's talking to somebody and the other person gets shot, but while that person's talking, all of a sudden all the sound shuts off in the show. And it's just his ears are ringing and he doesn't know what just happened. And they describe that lore numerous times in the show. So the ending follows the rule 100%. And it's one of those things, what you talk about, you go through it. It's a lot of fun. Now let's jump over to the thing. Do you have now? I know you just mentioned you just did a remastered version of Don't Get Stabbed. So what are some fun things that are on your horizon? Are they game related? Are they property game related? Like what do you got cooking up?
So I am working on a sequel game to Don't Get Stabbed. It's not an expansion. I've tried to make an expansion for years. It doesn't work.
Okay.
I can't get it. Like anytime I do it, I'm like, this is a mess. I don't think it's fun. So like, I'm not going to put that out there. So I'm working kind of like a spin-off sequel game.
Nice.
It's still pretty early on, but it's going to be very murder mystery, whodunit, secret identity type thing.
Nice.
Because I want to take, I had the game The Unseen that we talked about earlier, and a lot of people like that mechanic. There are other games that do like secret identity and social deduction, but a lot of them are like pretty high up there in complication, where one of the things I think I'm good at is taking some mechanics and being able to simplify them while still creating that same emotional reaction to it. So like everyone likes the Unseen because people are lying and yelling at each other, and everyone likes Don't Get Stabbed because of the characters and the feel and the humor. So I'm gonna kind of trying to mix those two together into something new.
That's pretty cool. I like it. It's like I love the idea that, again, like I said, you didn't just make all these game properties, but you made universes that can feel like sequels. And that's one of the things you mentioned the South Park guys. You know, a lot of times they use the video games to tell stories that maybe they don't have time to tell with a movie or with a TV show. And it's kind of like, it's kind of nice that you take this aspect of like, okay, there's more I can do with this property and this character. So let's make a sequel game. I think that is so awesome.
because like the lore of Don't Get Stabbed is that like they're actors playing in a slasher movie. Well, this time they're actors playing in a murder mystery movie. So like I can take the characters; they're just actors in different things. So like I can do a murder mystery. I could do a romantic comedy with them at some point. Who knows? But they're all actors, so I can just put them wherever they need to go.
And then honestly, just because you know your property so well, sky's the limits of what you can do. You can be like, oh, okay, well then I can do this with this character because this character fits that, and that's the brilliance of it. And if you and like I said, I really applaud that. I got one more question for you, and I ask this question all the time because, again, it's to me such an important question to measure your success. Because, like I said, we are so worried about our future and the very present moment of what comes next versus looking back over us. What's something you've done this year? Hell, I'll even extend it maybe the last 2 years that would impress your 14-year-old self.
So, 14, I'm a little closeted gay boy in a small farm town in Ohio. Little me didn't have a whole lot of confidence at 14 years old. And we didn't go into this, but I am part of a lawsuit that's suing the president in the United States over the tariffs, because that's something that directly affects my business. And I think it's illegal. I had the opportunity to join a lawsuit to sue the president, because I worked really, really hard to make this. And I'm not okay just sitting back and letting someone destroy it. And I think that if I were to go back in time to little 14-year-old me who doesn't have a lot of self-confidence, kind of feels alone in the world, be like, someday you're going to sue the president of the fucking United States. I think 14-year-old me would be like, that's pretty badass.
As I said off the break, it's Sarah Connor in Terminator 1, Sarah Connor Terminator 2. Two vastly different characters at two vastly different times, but they are ultimately the same person. And that is so cool, man. And like I said, one of the things watching your posts online and stuff like that kind of woke me up a little bit. I will because I'm seeing like how a lot of the policies and everything is affecting my wife, affecting her livelihood and stuff like that. And seeing you stand up and say something kind of woke me the hell up. And because I think sometimes we get docile, we keep our head down. We're so afraid to lose the immediate things that we have right in front of us that we forget that it's not, we aren't just the end game. It's everything around us, the community, who we are and what we're a part of this end game. And I mean, it's like I said, I cannot stress enough, like how amazing what you're doing is. I cannot stress that enough. There's no words for it. And it's a tough journey. And I know there's a lot of things we've talked about off air that I want to save for a part 2 episode to talk about, because I wanted to, because like,
we can do death threats next time.
We can. Oh, damn it! Because there's so much we can talk to. Like I said, you are a very fascinating human being, and I wanted to take a moment to really talk about the game industry and what you've done for it. And yes, this is something you're dealing with. And are there any updates? Is there anything you could talk to us about this right now with this lawsuit?
We are basically just waiting for the Supreme Court to rule. It's the case they are ruling on is not mine. It's what they call a sister case, and my lawyers or team, whatever they are, they put in some friend of the court thing with it. Like it's a bunch of legal stuff. But like we are basically almost any day now waiting for the Supreme Court to rule on if they're constitutional or not. How that is going to look even after that is announced, either for or against, is a very different scenario. Because like it says it's for it, well, that's going to be devastating for the toy industry in general. And we can get much more in depth with that last time of how dependent the toy industry is on outside labor due to no fault of my, like, I didn't build a fucking factory. I can't afford to build a factory. I got to go where the factory is. And if even if the Supreme Court does say like these are illegal, one, am I ever going to get my money back? Probably not. But two, he doesn't listen to them. So even if they say you can't do that, doesn't mean that he's not going to just continue doing that. So like me and a lot of people, especially at like my kind of level in the publisher world, is basically we are all just doing a wait and see. Because like I'm working on developing this game, but like, do I know if I'll ever send it for production? No clue, because I have no clue what that's going to look like in 2 months, 3 months, 4 months, a year from now. All that stability that you need when when I place an order, that's a lot of money for me.
Oh yeah.
And knowing that money would go over there, because like I had one friend, he had he's much higher up in the industry than me, $1 million worth of inventory stuck in China for 6 months. He couldn't make money off of it because he had to get it back here, and the tariff for it was going to be too much. They didn't have that much cash on hand. Like, we're not giant multinational corporations. Like the biggest business in our industry is like 20 people. Like these are not huge places.
Yeah.
So like this really put a lot of people on the edge. And I think in January, after Christmas is done, because like 80%, 90% of all toys in general, it's December where you make money. Everyone's just going from December. When that dust settles towards the end of January, we're going to see how bad it really was.
Yeah. And look, I think the fight that you're putting up with it's not fair, but it's noble. It's like with any great battle, you don't want to have to be the warrior, but you got it.
Yeah.
You got it, because no one's going to sit around, and it sucks, man. But hats off to you, man, because you're not. This is something you built. This is a part of your. This is an appendage. Your company is an appendage. It is very much a part of you. For someone to come in and destroy it or hurt it would be literally, drawing blood from your very own body.
Oh yeah, and like it feels like if this died, like if it eventually like fades out, I have to go back to work for someone else. That's fine, because at least it was me and I got to do things the way I want to. If I have to do that now because of what other people did, I don't know how I can handle that.
That's bullshit.
That's just going to infuriate me to a level that I will just lose whatever hair I have left.
Yeah, it pretty much undermines the American dream. It destroys it, because what you're doing is that definition of the American dream my grandparents came over here for. This whole work hard, put something together, put a piece of yourself into it, create this dimension, this enterprise, this business that is you. It is you, pretty much. It's your baby. And to not let anybody destroy what you created, and for it to work based upon one solely thing: your merit, how hard you work, what you put out there, and how the people who dig your stuff or don't dig your stuff react. That's what the whole business should be about. It should be about this third party bullshit that destroys it, and it should have nothing to do with it. America first, right? America first. That's what this whole thing has been about, apparently. America first. And yet farmers, gamers, like everybody's getting screwed to the side.
Oh yeah.
But America first.
Yep.
America first. But and it's affected my industry, because you saw the whole Kimmel thing that occurred, right?
God, what a freaking.
Which was a joke. It was a joke because he didn't comment about the thing they said he commented on. It was a segue. He mentioned it happened like a history book would, and then pointed out a hypocrisy. And whether you like it or not, that's what occurred. That's what occurred. And it's like nowadays, it's like you see this big Netflix merger, right? And with Warner Brothers, imagine all the things that are physical media, physical property going away because now Netflix owns it. And let's say one day, let's say some political influence happens upon Netflix, which it might. It happened to Paramount.
Yep.
Let's say, you know what? I feel like Batman gives the population too much hope. We're going to wipe that clean. We're going to wipe that clear. There's no physical media for it, but we're going to take it off our database. Nobody needs to see that.
Yep.
And it's like, you don't know how quickly properties can disappear like that. And we are at a precipice of so much danger right now. It is scary. But I want to end the show on a happy note. That's why I left this question here, because I think with anything we do, we work for the 14-year-old self.
Yeah.
We work for that person. Yeah. We are constantly trying to impress that person and telling them that the future that they waited around for, by God, is the future worth living. And man, you put together a company. It's been running since 2015. You have a body of gomography. Again, I'm going to make that word stick.
I'm sending a text message to my publisher friends after this. I'm like, this is a thing now.
It's a gomography, all right? And they've been great games. You've done great commercial, great work. Retailers are buying it. Like I said, what you have done, you've willed something into existence, man. And that 14-year-old version of you, that they are blessed, man. So congratulations on all your success, man. Really awesome, man.
Thanks, man. I appreciate it.
Thank you so much for joining me on the show. And please, everybody, I want you to do me a favor and go check out rookiemage.com. All right. You're going to check out that website. You're going to check out all the games, and not just games. We got merch.
We got merch,
right?
We got plushies.
We got merch, man. And one of my favorite ones I'm eyeballing. I might have to steal for my wife. I got to get. I'm gonna buy. I got to get this. I'm gonna buy for my wife. It says Jason is a mama's boy, which I love that. Stabby started some shit. All right.
Oh, yeah. He is a mouthy bastard.
Yeah, which you gotta love that, and I love it. He's writing it all sideways, like "fuck the man," which is very much on par and attitude of you, my friend.
Exactly, he's a little extension of. He likes to cause trouble.
Yeah, there's hoodies, there's shirts, there's mugs. I'm gonna have to check some of this stuff out for myself, man. I have to order some of this stuff, man. This is awesome. And there's an official statement on the illegal Trump tariff lawsuit. So if anybody wants to go check that out, please go check that out. Please support Rookie Mage. And like I said, we'll have you back, Jordan, because I do want to get into an in-depth conversation, but I wanted to focus on a more happy aspect of Christmas and games. And so what you're doing, man.
Yeah, that's good, because I can be a downer if it gets to it. So
don't worry, we'll get our downer sourpuss show. Don't worry.
With bottles of vodka or tequila,
just the glass with the ice shaking. Those bastards. But anyways. Jordan, hang on after I get us off air. But anyways, thank you guys so much for tuning in for the Hot Mess with Jess. Again, check out Jordan and Rookie Mage Games. Thank you guys so much, everybody. We'll be back next Thursday. Take care, everyone. Peace out.